Let's move on to the fourth Chinglish mistake. This is another extremely common, quite basic one. So, take a look at this sentence and see if you can find the mistake. I am lack of confidence when speaking English. What's the problem? So the problem is lack of. So lack of is not a verb, but many people use it as a verb. In a minute, we'll see how to use lack of in a correct way. But instead for this sentence, the verb should be lack. So the correct version of this sentence would be, I lack confidence when speaking English. So not am lack of, delete am, delete of, just I lack confidence when speaking English. So then, when do we use lack of? Because it can be correct. We use it as part of a noun phrase. That's a long series of words that makes one idea. Let's see an example. So we could say, there is a lack of cheap housing in my city. So a lack of cheap housing, that's one noun. We call it a noun phrase. And that is how we can use lack of correctly. So for that first one, we said a lack of. For the second one, we're saying his lack of. So his lack of knowledge is his biggest problem. So again, his lack of knowledge, that's the noun phrase, and then that is his biggest problem. So now you know how to use lack of correctly. And let's take a look at some correct examples with just lack as a verb. So you lack the skills to win this game. You don't have those skills, okay? And someone who lacks the ability to speak English can't succeed in this job. So those are a couple of correct examples that you can study and remember to help you understand exactly when we use lack and also when we use lack of. Let's go on to our first challenge. So again, I'm going to give you 3 sentences. Here they are. And you're going to tell me which one is correct and see if you can find out why the other 2 are wrong. What is the mistake in the other 2? Okay? Pause the video, have a try now. So the correct one is number 2. So your lack of experience. So it's a noun phrase and all of the grammar in there is correct. So that one is the correct one. For the first one, he lacks of money. So we're using lack of as a verb, which we know is not correct. So number 1 is wrong. And then number 3, you could maybe think that it was right, but I lacks the time, that has a different grammar mistake. So it should be I lack, no S. I lack the time. Okay, so that one is also wrong. The correct one, number 2. For your more difficult challenge, let's take a look at the sentence that I want you to translate. So pause the video, remember what we've talked about. Is it lack or is it lack of? And try to translate that sentence now. So the answer is, I lack the knowledge to solve this problem. Okay, so there we go. That is lack and lack of. It's a really common Chinglish mistake. Please review this video to make sure you completely understand. Review the correct examples for lack of and the correct examples for lack, and then you'll avoid this Chinglish mistake in the future. See you in the next video.